Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Zmore, the dad in DPS, and today we are back with another episode of The Good, the Scrap, and the Script. Now, we are ramping things up in preparation for Melto Zero and testing out some weapons that we will probably be testing out new versions of them in the next patch. Either way, guys, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and let's get on with this. Welcome to Indifference Day. Now, this is an alien disintegrator with instigating VATS hit chance and reload speed, and I think VATS hit chance is one of those effects that does not get enough credit for what it is. It's gonna do a lot of damage because we're gonna hit those targets. Now, the alien disintegrator is using the high-powered receiver. A lot of people favor the cryo receiver instead, but we're going for the high power today just to try and maximize the amount of damage this baby can pop out in one shot to the chrome dome of anything we come up against. Either way, let's get on with it. And as always with these videos, this is the build we're using. Don't focus on it too much. We're just using these things to try and optimize the amount of damage we can get, but the ultimate effect of the weapon will be in the testing now, won't it? Now, I am going to be completely honest, I tried filming this 3 times in West Tech, and every time I filmed this footage, for some reason, it would lag, it would do some weird stuff. So we are out in the wild with this one, and yeah, like as you're seeing, like it does decent damage against your average super mutants, nearly one shot in a level 51. They're not the max level. Against the max level super mutants, they were probably, it was taking like 3-4 shots, but against these weaker versions, you're seeing that they don't really last very long against the disintegrator when we actually get our shots in. Now, the main kind of downside of this weapon is it's an ungodly need for AP. It uses like a huge amount of it. But at the same time, you know, it's fairly satisfying to use. It makes a great little noise as you blast these guys in the head. And against, you know, your average kind of enemies like ghouls, scorched, it's gonna one-shot like a lot of things. And this isn't even the best version you could be using of it. You know, I would have much preferred an anti-armor one with the same kind of stats on there, but at the same time, I am quite happy with it. You know, it's not a bad weapon, it's just not the best weapon, but then I could say that for 90% of the things that you use in Fallout 76. It's fun to use, which is the main kind of thing. It feels fun to use, it makes a wacky noise that is oddly satisfying, and if you are looking for something that is, you know, a rifle rather than a commando rifle, then it is definitely something I would recommend you pick up and try and use. Now, the kind of main downside of this type of weapon is the fact that, well, it can't be stealth. Like, you cannot use this in stealth. Now, I'm trying to cripple Jeff's limbs, but that's not working. And the AP cost of, you know, shooting this into the specific body parts is not the best. Like, this is not the type of weapon that you're going to be able to spam shots at. You kind of want to try and get as many big hits on the skull as physically possible. Now, again, with some better rolls on this weapon, I don't think that we would be having much issue with Jeff. And granted, we're not really having much issue with him now, as he tries to flail and kill me and struggles as he does so. But we're just kind of waiting for our AP to regenerate a little bit and just kind of go in there. But you can manually aim it off so as well, and yeah, a couple more hits. But it's a slow death for Jeff in this case, but for the most part this weapon is not something I would recommend use on big targets like him. It's more for your daily driving, you know, just killing average enemies like ghouls, scorched, you know, most things that you get those headshots on are gonna immediately die. Alrighty, so we come to the Mirelurk Queen. Now, she is a very deadly opponent, so as usual, cripple her goddamn legs. And you're seeing that she goes down, well, goes down on the ground fairly quickly, and then you can proceed to just wail on her legs. I mean, it's not the quickest way of defeating her, certainly not, but if this had, you know, more rolls that were tailored towards dealing damage than on, you know, that first hit, she would have gotten down a lot faster. So yeah, I think it's actually a very successful attempt. It's not too slow. Granted, I wouldn't recommend you do it with this particular one, because this is what I would say is a daily driver, good for taking out smaller enemies, not so much for the bigger targets. Alrighty, now as with any of our videos, we head to expeditions to show how this will perform. Why is he dead? Well, how this performs against the enemies that are in here. What the hell is everything dead? What is going on? Yeah, this is a completely fresh expedition. Why is everything dead? What happened here? Did you guys do it? As you're seeing, against the regular enemies. You know, against these guys, you are killing them about 3 shots, getting 11 shots back, so you will make your ammo back with this weapon fairly easily. If you're getting a good crit with instigating, then yeah, you're going to be getting it as well. It kills them fairly effectively. I don't think you're going to have any real issues annihilating any and all enemies you come up against with this in here, with the exception of obviously the big targets, because then you're going to be shooting them for a while. But it is a good way for you to farm ammo for this and probably switch to a different weapon in order to take down the big guys. Now against the, what's the name of them, the plant guys, we'll try and find some, because there's only one other place that they spawn. And that's where the keeper probably, like, why is the keeper over there? I swear to God, it feels like they didn't spawn for some reason. You're seeing, like, you're able to deal quite a decent amount of damage to them as well. The regular thorns were dying in 1 shot. So, yeah, I think you're going to have some decent time in here. Like, the pollinators are probably your biggest target, your biggest problem. But even they will go down to this thing, regardless of the fact that they do take a few more shots than normal. But average enemies, yeah, you're not going to struggle in the slightest. So yeah, that is pretty much that. I think overall this weapon it's not the best at taking down big targets, I'll flat out say, but that's mainly because the effect we have on here is instigating. It is going to deal the damage you need it to do, and if you had anti-armor, bloodied aristocrats on there, you're going to notice quite an improvement to its overall damage in general. I think it's definitely a weapon that if you're going to use in the single shot format, you're going to find that it's going to do some decent damage, but it just ultimately depends on the effects you're using. This was just to maximize the damage. You could argue that Cryo maybe would have done more because of resistances of enemies, but you know, I think this was fairly effective and it did what it needed to do for the most part. Granted, albeit not the best on big targets. Either way guys, if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time in the Wasteland.
Through the dark, moonlight's dimly shedding, a shadow creeping. Feel your heart entwining, a twisted mind, seeking prey to devour.